Hello again to anyone and no one who accidentally clicked on this video, and welcome to my Mario Kart Wave 4 prediction list video. So I wasn't going to make this video until next week. It was going to come out next Sunday, but Nintendo just announced that they're going to have a Direct tomorrow, a Nintendo Direct. And I know damn well that they're going to show off Wave 4 in all its glory. They're going to show all the tracks. So I was kind of in a bit of a dilemma, like, should I fast track the video or should I just put it up next week anyway? Because that's what I ended up doing for Wave 3. So I have a video where I predicted like Wave 3 of the Booster Course Pass, and I recorded it before we found out what most of the tracks were going to be. But then it didn't actually come out until after Nintendo put out the trailer and revealed like all the other tracks in the wave, like Rainbow Road from Mario Kart 7, you know, Berlin Byways, London Loop, all that stuff. So I was like, oh great, you know, kind of funny, I guess. So I thought to myself, well, I'll just, you know, turn on my camera and I'll record a video right away, one day before the Direct, and I'll just give you my quick wish list, I'll say, for the 8 tracks coming in Wave 4. I selected one from each game, so like Mario Kart, SNES, N64, the GBA, DS, 3DS. I even selected one from Tour. So I know I never used to be a big Tour fan. I'm not like huge in Tour, but I finally caved and just got Mario Kart Tour. So I'm a little bit more familiar with the city tracks and stuff in Mario Kart Tour. So yeah, I'm going to be going over the other 8 Mario Kart games, and I'll select one track from each and kind of put it all together in one video and kind of give you my wish list for Mario Kart Wave 4. So without further ado, let's begin. Alright, to start things off, we have 3DS Shy Guy Bazaar. This is, well, I was going to say this is one of my favorite 3DS Mario Kart tracks, but there's quite a few tracks from Mario Kart 7 that I really enjoy. I think they did a really good job in that game, giving us some really great tracks. So for this race here, I wasn't able to record my commentary live because I don't have the proper equipment to record like 3DS, like to video capture 3DS footage. So what I basically ended up doing was I just used my phone to record my capture footage here of my 3DS gameplay, and I uploaded that to YouTube privately, and now that is what you're watching basically, and I'm just kind of adding my thoughts afterwards. I think the setting for this track really sets it apart from a lot of other tracks we've seen in the Mario Kart franchise. So definitely gives it some, you know, possibility to bring back. Plus, I think this one was remade in Tour, but I don't think it was in any of the leaks. So I really don't see this coming back in the Booster Course Pass. Maybe Mario Kart 9 they will remake this track, but yeah. I like the Shy Guy stage in Mario Kart 8, Shy Guy Falls. That's a pretty fun stage too. But just to mention some of the other Mario Kart 7 tracks that I like, because Wario Shipyard, I quite enjoy it. I would really love that one to come back. I love the Mii Islands. What is it? The Wii Sports Resort. There's like Woohoo Island and Makaruhu. There's 2 of them basically. Those are really great tracks. The 3DS Rainbow Road is probably one of my favorite Rainbow Roads, so I'm really glad that got in to the Booster Pass last wave. And there's a few more that I'm not thinking of off the top of my head, but anyway, that's the end of the first race, so let's move on into the next one. Alright, and next up we have N64 Koopa Troopa Beach. See, this track, it was brought back in Tour, so it automatically gets a higher possibility to be brought back for the Booster Course Pass. Except according to the like prefix data mine leak, we're not getting any more N64 tracks. So I'm not actually holding my breath to see this one. Oh, I think you need a mushroom for that shortcut. Maybe we'll get like a really cool updated version of this track in Mario Kart 9. Whenever that finally comes out. Get out of here, Bowser. Triple reds in second place. That's pretty deadly. And a triple green? Damn. These items are not balanced for Mario Kart 64. Match getting 6 shells in first place. Well, I think I'm gonna... Oh wait, there's one more lap after this. Thought this was the last lap for a minute. Yeah, I always really enjoyed this track a lot back in my 64 days in my youth. That shortcut there was always so hard to get, because even if you have the mushrooms, it's kind of hard to... With Mario Kart 64's controls, the controls aren't really like, you know, they improve later in the series. N64 games in general didn't really maximize... Oh my god, I hit the tree and then Bowser and Donkey Kong both hit me and my shell, so I'm still in first. Okay, there we go, first place. Yeah, no, what I was saying was like the N64 games, kind of being the first console in 3D and stuff, hadn't really maximized its controls, I would say, but nonetheless, let's move on to the next one. Alright, and for my third track of the Fruit Cup, I have SNES Bowser Castle 3. So, we've actually never had a SNES Bowser Castle be remade. So, yeah, I would I would like to see an SNES Bowser Castle be remade in some fashion. Because I don't even think in Tour. I'm pretty sure it's never been remade. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, there's been so many. Like, I'm not a big Tour fan. I did, like I mentioned, I did recently get into Tour, and I do have a Tour track on the list later on. But I only just started playing Mario Kart Tour, and I know that game's been out for a couple years, and there's a lot of tracks in Tour that they've remade and stuff. So I could easily be wrong, but I'm pretty sure we've never actually seen any of these super early Bowser Castles be remade from this game. And I chose 3, like out of 1, 2, and 3, or is there 4 in this game? Oh my god, I can't get through that thing. I think there's 3 Bowser Castles. Yeah, there's 4 Mario circuits, but I chose the third one just because I like all those jumps at the end. This part here specifically, all these like jumps. So if they remade this track in HD in a Mario Kart 8 Booster Course Pass or in Mario Kart 9, they could turn that into like, I don't know, a really cool gliding section with a bunch of ramps and stuff. That'd be pretty cool. So it's 5 laps on the SNES, that's right. I gotta say, it's a little jarring going from game to game, like playing the N64 Mario Kart, because I don't play enough to get used to that controls. I play one race, and now I'm on the SNES. And then next, I'm going to be playing the GameCube. For my next track, I'll be playing Double Dash. And the controls are, like, I know it's basically the same. Like, you go, like, with A, you stop with B, you throw an item and drift. Like, it's a karting game. It's not like it's, how complicated can it be? But every Mario Kart game has its own little, like, variants in its controls and stuff. Like, they all drift a little bit differently. They all drive a little bit differently. So kind of playing all the Mario Kart games back to back with you know, all the different Mario Kart games back to back with their little differences and controls is a little jarring. I have to admit. All right, and on to the next one. Right, and the last track I have of the Fruit Cup is GameCube Nintendo's DK Mountain. Now this track is an absolute fan favorite. It was one of the fan favorites back in the Double Dash days. It was a fan favorite when it was brought back for the Wii, and I think it was just added in Tour as well. So people probably love it on there because this track is probably one of my favorite tracks in all of Mario Kart across all games. So I would really love to see this track come back. And since it was added to the Booster Course Pass recently, I think there's actually a pretty good chance. I don't know if this was a confirmed track, like via the leaks for the DLC, but I think it's pretty highly speculated. Like I do honestly believe that we will see this in the Booster Course Pass, whether it is Wave 4, 5, or 6. I do think we'll see this at some point. I just love how angry the volcano looks. Somebody pooped in his cereal. Yeah, everything about this track really, blasting off to the top of the volcano, the like descent down where you have to avoid all the boulders and stuff, and then that small bridge at the end is like infamous in Mario Kart because I tried to take a shortcut there, but that thin bridge at the very end, it's so narrow that look, these bananas, like it can get a little hard to dodge stuff. Now in this game, in Double Dash, there are special items, right, if you remember, and Donkey Kong's special item is a giant banana, and if you leave that in the middle of that narrow bridge, it's like it's impossible to avoid. So it's almost kind of cheese, but it's pretty funny. Yeah, I really hope we do see this come back. We're supposed to be getting 4 GameCube tracks in the last 3 waves, because we actually haven't had a single GameCube track yet in the Booster Course Pass. Now, apparently we were supposed to get Waluigi Stadium in the last wave, but they swapped it with Maple Treeway for whatever reason. So the last 3 waves, we'll be getting 4 GameCube tracks. So one of the next 3 waves will have 2 GameCube tracks. So we'll be getting a lot of GameCube here pretty soon. You know, to counter the no GameCube tracks in the first 3 waves, which makes sense. So that's my Fruit Cup wish list. So now we'll move on to the Boomerang Cup. I'm not sure, like I mentioned, I'm very new to Mario Kart 2. I just got it. I finally came and got Mario Kart 2. Alright, and the GBA track that I picked for today is Yoshi... Is it Yoshi Circuit or Yoshi Desert? I could have sworn it was Yoshi Desert, but it might be Yoshi Circuit. Nonetheless, yes, this track here. The Yoshi Desert / Circuit track from Game Boy Advance. So this track, I wouldn't really say that this track is all that super popular. I don't really see a lot of demand for it. I mean, I see some people talk about it in the Mario Kart community, just based on the fact of how much potential that this track has to be remade. Because of all the tracks that Nintendo remake in Mario Kart, their SNES, particularly their Game Boy tracks, actually, they remake really well. They just add so much new dimension to it, gives it such a breath of fresh air, right? And so the Booster Course Pass, a lot of the Game Boy tracks have been pretty popular, like Snowland in Wave 2, and then Boo Lake in Wave 3. I don't know if Sky Garden was all that popular in the first wave. A lot of people didn't really like that one specifically, but for the most part, the GBA tracks are pretty pretty loved, I guess, or what am I trying to say? Popular. Especially in the base game, when you have Ribbon Road. Ribbon Road was pretty standout, I would say. Oh, I don't have any coins. One more lap. So yeah, I do see some people saying like in HD Yoshi Desert, give it the good old Nintendo remake. Put some hills in there. Maybe you drive through a pyramid at one point. Like modernize it a little bit, and you know, I could get behind that. I could see how a track like this could be, you know, potentially pretty interesting. So I'm open to seeing this track come back. As long as it's a good track. Like I'm open to seeing anything come back as long as it's good, you know. Even if it's boring in the original. Like a lot of GBA and SNES tracks are pretty boring, in my opinion. Like those games aren't really the greatest. Like they haven't aged so well, but a lot of the remakes of those tracks I quite enjoy. So anyway, on to the next one. So my third track of the Boomerang Cup is DS Delfino Square. This track I would say is pretty popular. I see a lot of people talking about this track in the Mario Kart community. A lot of people want to see this one come back to the Booster Course Pass. I thought this track was alright on the DS. It didn't really stand out to me, to be honest. But I like the Wii remake a lot. This track was brought back for the Wii. Because I don't think in the DS version, I don't think the bridge raises up. Or maybe it does. Maybe I'm misremembering that. But yeah, I don't know. I played so much Mario Kart Wii in my childhood, a lot more than the DS. I didn't really play the handheld Mario Kart game. Oh, the bridge does raise up. Okay. So I misremembered that, but I still don't really remember this track much from the DS. I didn't really spend a lot of time playing the handheld Mario Kart games. I did a little bit, but it was mostly like the N64, Double Dash, and then Mario Kart Wii was like the bulk of my childhood, I would say, when it comes to the Mario Kart games. So I really only remember the Wii version, but I liked it a lot on the Wii, so I wouldn't be opposed to seeing this come back for the Booster Course Pass. I quite like the Peach Garden remake that we just got in the last wave. That was also a DS track. So yeah, if we got something similar to that in a Delfino Square, I think that'd be pretty interesting. You know what though? I would love to see Airship Fortress. And I think we'll probably see it. I think, okay, because there was a ton of like DLC leaks. You know, the Mario Kart 8 DLC, there was like a data mine leak. There were a ton of different leaks for it, like 3 or 4 different leaks with the data mines. Like one of them was like a music leak, so all the music got leaked for the future tracks and stuff. So we like I said at the beginning of the video, we kind of already know what a lot of the tracks are going to be in the rest of the Booster Course Pass. And if I remember correctly, I think Airship Fortress might have been one of them, or highly speculated to be one of them. I do think it's more likely we'll get Airship Fortress over Delfino Square, because Airship Fortress to me is more popular. I like Airship Fortress a lot more. It's just, I don't know, it's a more unique track, I think. You're literally driving on Bowser's giant airship. There's a part where there are these giant bullet bills shooting at you. Just an overall more exciting track in my opinion, and I think most people have that opinion. I would have played Airship Fortress instead of this track for my DLC prediction, but I already put Airship Fortress in my last DLC prediction for Wave 3. And it wasn't in Wave 3 when we got the actual wave. So we still haven't gotten it. But I do think we'll probably see it in either Wave 4, 5, or 6. On to the last track now. And my final track for my Wave 4 wishlist / prediction is the Wheeze Toads Factory. So Toad's Factory was one of my favorite tracks back on Mario Kart Wii. And I don't think we've ever seen it remade, actually. Yeah, let me just think here. Because it wasn't in 7, not even in Tour, I don't think. Or was it? I don't think it's even in Tour. So Toad's Factory has never been remade. Now, I actually don't think we'll see it in the Booster Course Pass, unfortunately. Just because of the leaks and stuff, it looks like we'll be getting other tracks instead. So, according to the leaks, we will be getting 3 or 4 more Wii tracks in the Booster Course Pass. And we already know for sure one of them is the Wii's Rainbow Road. That's just... Actually, that'll be the last... oh, damn. That'll be the... Another... Jeez, I'm getting Mario Kart over here. Oh my god. Who was that? Peach? Okay, what was I saying? So, the Wii's Rainbow Road will be the final track in the Booster Course Pass. Kind of like how Mario Kart 7's Rainbow Road was the last track in Wave 3. It was the last track in the first half of the Booster Course Pass. So they're going to end the second half of the Booster Course Pass and the overall, like, Booster Course Pass in general with the Rainbow Road as well. And it's going to be the Wii Rainbow Road. Nintendo hasn't said that themselves. I'm just kind of saying what the leaks said, but the leaks are pretty... They're like, from what we've seen so far, they've been like 100% accurate. Like, all the leaks for Wave 2 and 3 were correct. So, and this is coming from the same sources that the data mine leaks, the prefixes, the soundtracks. So we know for sure we're getting the Wii Rainbow Road. We're also looks like we're getting DK Summit and Koopa Cape as well from Mario Kart Wii. And I think those two, I think DK Summit was like basically 100% because there was also a banner leak for that one, like a photo. And I think the Koopa Cape one, I don't think that was 100%, but I think that one's just like very highly speculated. Plus, all the tracks that come to the Booster Course Pass are from, most of them are from Tour as well. And, you know, since Toad's Factory was also never remade in Tour, I don't think we'll be getting in the Booster Course Pass. It's such a great track though, you know, like a factory is such a great setting for a racetrack, like you have all the moving pieces and belts and stuff, the different moving, like the road itself. It's so unique that I think they'll probably bring it back for Mario Kart 9 and give it like a proper full remaster. Because, you know, the Booster Course Pass, some people have some problems with the Booster Course Pass. I don't think it looks graphically up to standard with the base Mario Kart 8 game, and I don't necessarily disagree. Some of the tracks look pretty good, but some of the tracks from the Booster Course Pass definitely look like they were rushed and kind of cartoony. So I don't mind waiting for Toad's Factory to get remade, like save it for Mario Kart 9, I mean, and then Nintendo can give it like a proper full remaster instead of like risking it not like giving it its full potential. Because in my opinion, Rock Mountain in the last wave looked pretty cartoony, and I wasn't really I love Mushroom Gorge, the Wii's Mushroom Gorge, but I didn't really like Mushroom Gorge how it looked in the Booster Course Pass as well, in my opinion. But some of the tracks look great, but it just depends, you know. And that will conclude my DLC Wave 4 wish list. Hopefully some of these tracks come to the game, like DK Mountain or Singapore Speedway, but we will see. We will see literally tomorrow, because the Nintendo Direct is tomorrow, and it has forced me to fast track this video. Yeah, I don't really have any more to say, so if you're still here, thank you so much for watching to the end of the video. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you have your own prediction or wish list or whatever, you know, put it down in the comments below, start a conversation with someone, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Have a great day.